item is to consider a resolution authorizing the execution of an economic development agreement between the Midland Corporation
first
and
contract that
Aerospace
MDC approved was actually an economic development agreement between the Midland Development Corporation and XCOR, which basically provided for the MDC to provide $10 million in incentives and then another $250,000 for employee training. In essence, over a series of years, for the most part, keyed off of when we receive a permit to be a spaceport. The company itself also had some obligations under that agreement, and that is to basically make a $4 million capital improvement commitment at the Midland location, and ultimately to gear up to have a payroll within 5 years of the date the spaceport permit is received, a payroll of $12 million. After the MDC's meeting was over with, then the council met.
Glad everybody's here today. We have a special council meeting that we're going to work on today. A couple of items. So I'm going to start with number one, which is consider a resolution authorizing the execution of a lease agreement. Number two is to consider a resolution authorizing the execution of a lease agreement between the City of Midland and XCOR Aerospace. Number three is consider a resolution approving an economic development agreement between the Midland. Last one is consider a resolution approving the subway Midland County, Texas. And we have motions and seconds on this one. Any questions or comments? All right, we can vote on this one.
The motion carried unanimously.
They did approve the incentive agreement between MDC and XCOR. They approved the lease agreement between the city and MDC. Then they approved the sublease between MDC and XCOR. And then the fourth document that they approved was a lease for an area out at the airport where there are some bunkers that were constructed, I believe, prior to World War II. And those areas were very important to XCOR for a test site area.
The airport facility you have here is in great condition, and it's got great management. The weather is great. And, you know, I realize to a lot of companies or industries, all of the big open space around here might not be attractive, but to us it very much is. You know, testing rockets takes a lot of room, and that's something you have a lot of. But really what put it over the top was the leadership in your community.
There was a lot of work that had to be done just to get the hangar really ready to have people in it. And, you know, getting the stage set up and, you know, the lighting and just all the things that go into something like that. And then in the course of us getting ready for that, XCOR said they thought that they could have their prototype available for us. Originally, it was supposed to have been in England for an air show, but because of some delays in getting it over there, they ended up not taking it to England, so we were able to have it in Midland, and it was actually the first time that the prototype had been shown in public. The whole goal, I think, for the creation of MDC was to try to find some other industries that can flatten those peaks and valleys out. And this particular industry is one of several that have been identified that if we could get a foothold with those, that it would be complementary to the oil and gas industry in that it uses the same type of employees, or they uses their skills, but that it's dependent on a totally different cycle than the price of the commodity is. And so our hope would be by getting a well-respected company in this aerospace industry that we will be able to attract others. And having a spaceport permit, I think, will be an asset, as well as having an established company that's made a decision to move here. So it's not that we're trying to replace our existing industries, but we're just trying to find those that will complement and hopefully even out our economy a little bit for the long term.